Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do something a little bit different. My mom, she shared some pretty scary stories that happened to her that she's experienced that are kind of in my family, that her mother shared with her. So I thought I would share those with you guys. I'm gonna sort of do a couple videos like this. If you guys like it, let me know. Thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe. You know how it goes. I personally have scary stories that I'd like to share as well. And instead of submitting them to, be Busta or Lazy Masquerade or Corpse Husband, I thought I would just put them in a video of my own on my own YouTube channel. And I hope you enjoy this type of video. Let me know in the comments below. So I'll preface the story. My mom grew up in Mexico in a Catholic household, and all the stories that you're about to hear are completely true. My mom, she's had a lot of creepy stories that happened to her. So here are just a couple of those. Number 1, Masonic Temple. This happened to my mom when she was 10 or 11 in Mexico. My mom and aunt attended a Catholic school ran by nuns, so they had religion classes every day. A fact that everyone knew was that one of their classmates' father belonged to the Masonic sect. And I'm sure you've all heard about the Freemasons. You can Google it and find a whole bunch of information about them. A lot of people consider them to actually be a cult. Well, anyway, my mom and aunt were never able to go to that classmate's house because everybody, including the nun and my grandparents, told them they weren't allowed to go to that house. Ever. So they avoided going to her house and hanging out with her. But one day, their classmate's father died, and as good classmates, they wanted to be with her at her dad's funeral. But what they were told about the Masons was that the Masonic sect is the biggest enemy of the Catholic Church, and they worship the devil. Even after having been told that, my mom and aunt wanted to support their classmate, so they agreed to go to the father's funeral. They offered a mass for his funeral at the Catholic Church, but directly afterwards, they were offering a different kind of service, a Masonic service. The Masonic Temple was ironically across the street from the cathedral. So, out of curiosity, my mom and aunt entered the Masonic Temple. Upon entering, they noticed it was completely dark. But from what they could see, it was a big church-like room. At the front of the room was a stage with lights around it. There were a lot of men that were all dressed in these long black gowns with hoods, and all you could see were their eyes. My mom said they were speaking or singing in a very strange manner, almost like grunting or a low grumble. They were all doing this in unison, and some men were making what looked like a fire as they continued speaking in this strange dialect. My mom could see smoke coming from the stage, and she said it smelled like sulfur, like a really intense whiff of sulfur. And if you know the Catholic religion, they tell you that sulfur means evil. Apparently it's associated with what the devil smells like or something. At this point, my mom and aunt are freaking out, beyond terrified, wanting to leave so badly. So they weaved their way through the men to get through the exit, almost walking underneath people, they were so small. My mom says this was the most terrified she's ever been in her entire life. She never told anybody this story.
Until now.
The second story is called The Woman Who Played the Piano. This story took place in Guaymas, Sonora in Mexico. My mom was living about 3 blocks from the pier at the time, and she was just a baby when this happened, so my grandmother told her this story. At the time, it was 1953, and it was very common in Mexico for people to go to the farmer's market every day. People would buy fruits and vegetables they would need to prepare their meals for the day. So many people walked past my mom's house, which my grandpa owned, that had about 10 to 12 rooms that were really tall. People would walk past their house to get to the farmer's market at 6 in the morning, every day. One day, several people went up to my grandma and told her, "How beautiful you play the piano." My grandma wore a look of confusion. My grandma told these people that she couldn't play the piano, and besides, she didn't even own a piano. But time after time, people kept telling her that every day between 5 and 6 in the morning, there was a woman who would play the piano with the window open. And it was so beautiful they couldn't help but comment on it. They described the woman as having long, flowing black hair. But the thing is, my grandma had short hair and obviously didn't play the piano or even own a piano. Throughout the few years my grandparents lived there, people kept commenting that they would hear and see things in that house. But my grandma never saw or heard anything while she lived there. My grandpa ended up abandoning the house. He didn't sell it or fix it up. He simply abandoned it. So years later, even after they left, when no one was occupying the house, people would continue to hear and see the woman. Eventually, a family moved into the abandoned house, and my mom ended up visiting the house about 8 years ago, and she interviewed the neighbors across the street out of curiosity about the house. The same family who lived across from them many years back still resided there. And my mom asked the neighbor if they still see the woman who plays the piano. The woman said, "Oh yes, we remember the woman playing the piano, and we still see and hear things almost every day." They told my mom that if you go on the roof of their house, you can see a casket through the bedroom window. The casket is surrounded by 4 candles. They also told her that they hear chains being dragged from across the street, when in fact there are no chains being dragged anywhere. The people who now live there brought a priest over a while ago and had him bless the house. But the neighbors said that they can still see and hear the noises. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. And by the way, these are all completely true. I have plenty more to share. And even if you guys have scary stories that you'd like to share with me, I can read them out on my channel. I know that's not my type of videos that I do, but I really do enjoy paranormal things, and so I just thought, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.